Welcome to VINDAL'S concept. I want us to do the graph of the practical I just conducted, the number one for Neco 2023. I have finished the practical. If this is the first time I've seen this video, you know that the practical has already been conducted, and the table of value is also there, and you can see the table of value which is pasted on the screen. When you look at it, you see that we are plotting mass against, no, we are plotting extension against mass. And that is E, a graph of, so the title is E versus M. That is a graph of E, extension against mass, or E versus mass. So the next thing you should go is, from your table of value, you determine the scale you want to take, and that is the most important aspect of this, your graph. But before I continue, I really want to say shout out to this young man. I have really forgotten his name. He's the one I've been telling me, and many other people who have been telling me to do graphs. So I'm dedicating this for you people. Those of you that have been telling me to do graphs. So this is for you. Now let us get over it. Okay, the scale, I am going to choose a scale according to my graph. Let me choose a scale of 0.5 to 4 cm. But before I go into that, the question should be, what is 2 cm to 1 unit? What is the meaning of all those things? First of all, if you look at this graph, you see blocks. You know, some people call it block, but I will call it 2 cm, because each line makes, each 10 lines, I mean, when you have 10 lines, you have 2 centimeters. So let's start with this one. Let's say if you are starting from 0, this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that makes 2 cm. But if you count 5 lines, you are looking at 1 cm. So you should know that before you take your scale. I want to be very careful so that every detail will be covered. Now, I'm going to say, because of the nature of my table, I'm having 0.6, 0.9, 1.3, 1.7, 2.1. So that means from 0.1 to 1, the values will be clustered somewhere. If I say 2 cm to 1 unit, so this is going to be 1. The next one is 2. So my graph is just going to cover this small from here to here, which will be not be very good, because one of the things you have to know about physics practical is that the bigger your scale, the more mark you gain. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to say 0.5 to 2 cm is going to give us 0.25, or simply put, 4 cm is 0.5. So I'm going to have 4 cm. 4 cm is going to give me 0.5 unit. Now, if 2 cm is 10 lines, 4 cm is going to be how many lines? 20 lines. So I'm going to find 20 lines and call it 0.5. That is going to be on the vertical. So let me write on the vertical axis. So the next thing I'm going to have 0.5. No, this is 2 cm, cannot be here. So this is 2 cm, and this is 4 cm. So this 4 cm is going to be 0.5. So this is 2 cm, this is 4 cm, is going to be 1.0. And this is 2 cm, this is 4 cm, is going to be 1.5. And this is 2 cm, this is 4 cm, is going to be 2.0. And this is 2.5. So this is the 2.5 cm on the vertical. And remember, what I'm plotting on the vertical is E. And that E is in centimeter. So you must put the unit. This is the quantity and this is the unit. You must present it. All these things give you mark. So on the horizontal axis, let me call it 1 cm to 10 units. 1 cm. So that I'll be able to cover up. Now, this is 0. This is 0. I mean, this place is 0. This is vertical. This is. So, this is 5. 1 cm is 10. This is 10. This is 20. 10, 20. This is 30. This is 40. And this is 50. This is 60. This is 70. This is 80. This is 90. This is 100. This is 110. This is 120. And this is 130. Let's do that. If I say that 4 cm is equal to 0.5 on the vertical axis, I am doing video. What happened? You said what? It's all right. Okay. Now, that means if 2 cm is 10 lines, that means 4 cm is going to be 20 lines. So I'm going to say 20 lines is equal to 0.5. If I divide both sides by 20, so one line is going to be 0.025. So it simply means that each line here is 0.025, 0.025, 0.025. If you want to confirm if what we did is very okay, you can say 0.025 times 20, you have 0.5. 0.025 times 20, you have 0.5. Now, this is on the horizontal. Let's go to horizontal. On horizontal axis, we say that 1 cm means 10 units. 1 cm means 5 lines. And then 5 lines means 10. What is one line? One line is going to be 10 divided by 5, which is what? 2. So on the horizontal axis, each line represents 2. So note this, because we are going to use them to demonstrate and to plot everything we have to plot today. So let's keep this one side. Okay, now let's look at this. Now, this is the vertical line, and this is the horizontal line. Okay, now remember what we said. On the vertical, one line represents 0.025. So if this one is 0.025, 0.025, 0.025, 0.025, 0.025. No. So if you want to find 1, you are going to say 0.025 times 4 to give you 1. Simply say 1 divided by 0.025. To get 1, you need to count 40 lines to be able to get 1. Simply say 1 divided by 0.025. Let's do that together. You are going to have 40. But how do you get 0.1? You are going to say 0.1 divided by 0.025. You are going to have 4. So if I count 4 lines on the vertical line, I will have 0.025. So 0.1 I mean. So 4 lines means 0.1. Now let us plot the first line, the first one. 50 is under 0.6. 50 is under 0.6. So this is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. This 50. Now let us locate 0.6. Where would 0.6 be? This is 0.5. Remember, this is 50. This is 0.5. Under 50. This is 0.5. So how will I get 0.6? That 0.6 means if I will be adding, if I say 0.5 plus 0.025, because I want to find it on the vertical. Each line means 0.025. So I'll be adding 0.025 to 0.5 until I get 0.6. But like I said before, you need 0.1 to add to 0.5 to get 0.6. All you need to say is 0.025 times 4, which will give you 0.1. Then plus 0.5, you have 0.6. That means you need 4 lines. So under 50, this is 0.5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the point where I have, this is that point, which is 0.6 under 50. So this is 0.6. I've gotten that first coordinate. The next one is 0.9 under 70. This is 50. This is 60. This is 70 now. 70, what am I looking for? I am looking for 0.9. This is 1. 0.9 shouldn't be there. So 0.9 should be somewhere here. So what should I do to 0.5 to get 0.9? So see what you say, see what you do. Because for you to get from 5 to get 0.9, you need 0.4, right? So simply say 0.4 divided by 0.025. 16 lines. You need 16 lines from 0.5 to be able to get to 0.9. So if you now say 0.025 times 16, you have 0.4. This 0.4 plus 0.5, you have 0.9. So what am I going to do? So under 670, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This is the point where 70 and 0.9 coincide. So at that point, I've gotten my 0.9. Okay? The next thing is 1.3. This is 1. And this 1.3 is under 90. So this is 90. Look at 90 here. Now, what will I add to 0.1 to have 0.03? I need 0.3. So what should I do? Remember, one line on the vertical axis means 0.025. So I will say 0.3, which I need to add to 1 to get 1.3. I will say 0.3 divided by 0.25. 0.3 divided by 0.025. I need 12 lines from 1 to get to 1.3. So under 90, this is 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is the place where I have this line now. If I trace it to the vertical, this place is where 1.3 is. This is that 1.3, all right? Yes, 0.2 plus 1.5. I have 1.7. Okay, now you are going to ask yourself, since you are looking, you need 0.2 to add. You are going to say 0.2 divided by 0.025. You need 8 lines from 1.5. So from 1.5, you need 8 lines. So this is 70, 80, 90. So I need 8 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 lines. This is that 8th line. Okay? That is the place. Now, the next thing I will look for is 2.1. This is already 2. Remember 1, 2.1, that means I need 0.1. And that we have established that it's just 4 lines. So if you also say 0.1 divided by 0.025, you have 4. So from 2, I need 4. Now, this is under 110. 130 is here. This is 130. This is 2. So I need 4 lines from these 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the place where we have, this is that place where we have 4 lines from 2. So from here, we have come to the end of our graph. The next thing is to plot, to join your line. But please, let me tell you, this you need to ask questions. Anywhere you don't understand, just type your question. I will respond immediately. So the next thing is to join your straight line. Okay? How are you going to join your straight line? You have to consider what is called line of best fit. So looking at this graph now, So looking at this graph now, if I put my line, let me target, it can't work that way. Okay, I think this is perfect because if you are looking at this one now, this entered, this entered, this entered, and this entered. So it's unfortunate my graph, I'm not going to be able to get my intersection on the vertical axis. It's a shame for me. So if I want to extend this line, because this graph is targeting a negative intersect, which is perfect and correct based on what the practical gave me. So if I want to extend this line, so this is what my graph gave me. So let me find my slope. To find my slope, very important, I will look for the 2 points that entered the line very well. So I'm choosing this place. I'm going to choose this point and this point. So I'm going to have this line. I will form a triangle from those 2 points. So I will join here too. Now, this is the triangle I have drawn. So what am I going to do? I will trace this one. From here to down is 130. So, and then this one is that 2.1. So let us do the slope. Please, let's do the slope. My graph, this line is the one before 1. That should be 0.9. So this one now, if I trace this line, I mean this place I made this point. If I trace it, I'm going to have 0.9. Yes, 0.9. If I trace this one, I'm going to have 2.5. So remember slope. Slope is given at y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. But in this one, we are using E. E is on the vertical, so y is for the E. This is E2 minus E1. And our horizontal line, we are using mass. So M2 minus M1. Therefore, my slope, I'm going to model it to E2 minus E1 all over M2 minus M1 is going to be my slope in physics aspects, okay? Based on what I'm plotting on the vertical axis and the horizontal. Now, on my vertical axis, this first line corresponds to 2.1. I will show you later. 2.1 minus. This one corresponds to 0.9 all over. M2, this line, if I trace it down, you have 130. This is 130 minus. If I trace this line, you have to 70. 2 all over 60. This is 1.2 divided by 60. So my slope is going to be 0.02. Now my vertical is centimeter and my horizontal is gram. So cm gram. This is my slope. You must put your SI unit for the slope. It's very important. So this is what I got as my slope. If you are working with me, let us find out what I said when you trace it this way. So if you look at this, if you trace this down, you have 2.1. And if you trace this down, you have 0.9. So that's my slope. My slope is 0.02 cm per gram, according to this graph. Thank you.